Sana buat apa? Aduh, tak dapat dengan titik. Cibai lah. Ni dah tak fikir lah masuk live ke tak masuk live. Lapar dah. Boleh tak minta kecil bang untuk plug?
plastik kecil untuk plug dan juga makanan untuk bangunan.
Tak makanan dulu. Kalau buat satu game break balik, Aram tu dia buat satu game aku belum tahu, aku tak cakap. Orang tu pedal. Biasa sembang ni dengan live tu. Yalah. Kau boleh lambai-lambai pula. Geram aku dengan kau. Dia tengok apa? Boleh? Boleh? Dia layan tak? Tak balik pun, letak je kot. Bungkus. Balut tak boleh bang. Kalau ada satu yang kecil boleh lah. Untuk extension je ni. Baik sangat bang. Baik sangat global. Diam abang. Diam ah. Bang, kau boleh bang? Saya nak main dengan dia orang bang. Ya, semua game jatan.
Sabit.
Mana grafik ni?
Pasal 1, 2, 3.
Besar. Hilang bola. Sampai.
Camera 5, play the ball, please.
Kalau gedar-gedar. Bola dia kat kemah, dia tak nampak sebenarnya. Kan ada kemah tu. Bodoh kau ni. Geram aku tengok. Buang kat kemah tu.
Boy, middle numbers.
Sporting lah. Sporting. Dia tak pandang.
With camera 2.
Belum lah bang, break.
Can you please make sure camera 5 is waterproof?
Yes.
Out. Relax.
Kita tak kena hujan ke?
Relax.
Come again.
2, 3 in. Out. Up. Ambil. Buka 2, 3 in. In. Bye. Semalam menguai kau baru nak.
Itu tengah break.
Lapit cuma nak menguai, tolong kau nak kau.
Tak dia kita kan ni.
Oh, tak boleh lagi.
Kita kenal lu.
Kenal lo. Kacau ni.
Team 5, come on.
Masuk.
Team 5. Saja.
Password siapa nama?
Tempo je kat ni.
Jauh tempoh ni. Tak, dia nampak kita pergi kamera tak ni balut.
Dah ada belum?
Check dah ada. Baby unit.
Pakai bahasa password lah. Takkan tak baca forward. Aduh mak, orang Melayu kan kita baca sikit.
Okay. Petang.
Tengok check lah apa. Relax lah. Bukanlah gambar di sini kan? Budak-budak di grup Austria.
Camera 5, can you bag your camera, please?
Hah?
Can you bag over your camera so it stays dry?
Well, welcome back to a wet Putrajaya. We're going to pick up commentary here in the second half of this men's open match between Fiji and Scotland. It is the Fijians who are in control at the moment. They lead 5 touchdowns to 0 over the Scottish. And from what we've seen in that first half, they've looked quite impressive, the Fijian side. And even though wet conditions, they've still played quite an expansive game. They've got skills to burn for sure. And they've put them on display and racked up 5 touchdowns. as a result as well. So a lot of work to do here for Scotland to get themselves back into the game. But they're coming up against a red-hot Fijian side. So let's see what Scotland have here. This is their first opening set of the second half. This is a little bit better. Nice bit of ball movement there, but good scrambling defence from the Fijians. Link and right wing, right middle and right link there, I should say, both diving in to make that touch. So good desperation shown in defence as well from Fiji. As Scotland look to run the sweeper play now. They go against the grain, they go short and turn it back on the inside, but well covered. And good defence there from Fiji. So let's see how they come out of their end of the field now. Transition with just such ease to the Fijians, but they've turned the ball over. So let us know if you're tuning into this match or any of the live stream matches. Add some comments on Facebook. I've actually got the Facebook app open myself at the moment. So if you're tuned in, let us know where you're watching from. We'll have a look, give you a little bit of a shout out as well. So Scotland turned the ball over there as well. They give Fiji possession again. And really interested to see how Fiji string their set together here, attacking the line. They look to go open side again. Big looping pass and a diving effort there. Couldn't be grabbed. Scotland trying to work out of their end of the field as well. But the defensive pressure is not too bad here from Fiji as well. They struggled in their first two touches. They're getting a little bit more momentum now as substitutions come on for the Scottish side. A little bit of dancing footwork in the middle there. They look to go from half. Now he might have broken through here. Goes the ball over the top, but picked off from Fiji. So Serena Saifidi watching back from Brisbane in Australia, showing support for Fiji. Thanks for tuning in back in Australia. A little bit wet here in Malaysia. Not sure what the conditions are like back in Brisbane, but probably not the heat of what we're expecting or we're currently experiencing here as Fiji. They get into half, a nice pick off there and a little bit of contact as well. So Stuart Gibson, the right winger for the Scottish side. Going back through the middle of the park now. Come out to this right-hand side. Driving in. There's going to be a penalty here for Scotland. So players offside from Fiji. They're going to repeat set. They're going to attack the line. Steve Lemalu watching from Melbourne as well. So plenty of Aussies tuning in, watching the Fijian side as Scotland. Play on to call. So there you go. Scotland actually get the first touchdown of the match, and there's quite a boisterous applause there from their substitution box. Well deserved touchdown. Gets them on the board, and they get the first touchdown of the second half. The score is now 5-1, so they've reduced that margin down to 4 touchdowns. The rain still tumbling here in Putrajaya. So extremely hot conditions yesterday. We saw the enforcement of the heat rule. And we, as a result, we're playing 10-minute quarters just to give the players a little bit more fluid. Time to take a quick break, and the referees as well, doing it tough out there. They cover a lot of kilometres during a game, the referees. Quite surprising, actually. Seeing some of the data that's come out, a lot of the referees wear GPS trackers themselves, and they were covering more ground than what the players were, so quite an interesting stat. So they do it tough out there as well, as it's 5th touch for Fiji now. Nice diving catch just to hang on to the ball. They switch around. They're still extremely dangerous in these positions. Now, it wasn't fifth touch. I must have seen a different signal. 6 more has happened at some stage, so Scotland have got their hands on the ball. Vita Rose watching from Antonish, I'm going to pronounce that incorrectly, in California. And Alex King tuning in from Perth. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Another penalty here for Fiji. So as I mentioned, it's the first matches for the Men's Open today. The competition getting away on day 2 of the World Cup. They'll be going right through and will be the final game on Saturday. The World Cup will be concluded by the Men's Open Grand Final. And really looking forward to that. But first and foremost, these round matches, they're going to be extremely important. You can't get to the big dance without getting the wins on the board first. And I love seeing matches like this. 2 countries like Fiji and Scotland, worlds apart, brought together through the beautiful game of touch football. And players here called offside from Fiji, dancing and jinking around again, Stuart Gibson. So Fiji, we just need be a little bit careful. They're getting a little bit lazy on side, and you can see the referee there, Luke McKenzie, he is blowing the penalty for the offside. So it's been a couple of occasions now where Fiji have been caught short. Now, Scotland got one on the board when they were down this end of the field. Last time Kamazak on the right foot. I think he might have got that down. No, touch made. Bring it right back out. The ball's in the hands of Chillingworth at the moment. He's just directing traffic. Fiji are in no real hurry to get up here and make the touch. They're coming now as Scotland look for the sweeper play. They might have created numbers here. They look to duck underneath, but they don't. So Cameron Hart was the number 10, orchestrating the play down that right-hand side. He's got the ball again here. Dancing, goes to flick play. Play on is the call from the referee. They look to get on the outside. Can't get there. So Fiji now coming out of their danger end of the field. Let's put a little bit of focus on how they do that. They're still happy to throw the ball around. You sometimes see teams in these sort of conditions just look to go more direct through the middle, just nice easy passes, but it's not the Fijian way of playing touch football. They love expansive football. They love to throw it around. And they've made a really good effort of it to get down the other end of the field here. They're diving it underneath. That's going to be a touchdown. So that was a really good set there from the Fijians. They went from one end to the other, coast to coast. They get their 6th touchdown, and the score goes back out to that 5 touchdown margin. 6-1 is the score now. And a nice touchdown there from Fiji. So let's see what Scotland have here. They've run a few sweeper plays, a couple of rooster type plays there. Good call, good touch I should say, made there. I think they were looking to exploit potential offside players there. Callum Smith on the previous play. They made it back onside that time. Did the Fiji inside. Just nice easy rucking here for Fiji, but they kick out and get those extra metres. Nice big long ball out to their left winger. Just creates more yardage for the side. So that's how they can get themselves up the park as they go through from half, and they got their hands on the ball. Ross Taylor. So 6 more here for Fiji. They lead 6-1 over Scotland. holding the play up nicely here. They get a quick roll ball. They look to slide and get underneath. Touch made. Right in front of the referee, Bradley Smith. In perfect position to make the call. They roll again now. Scottish players need to get up off the line. They do that now. Gets on the outside, does he? Oh, fifth touch as well. Let's see if there's a little bit of Fijian flair. They pop on the outside off. That ball just holds up. And that might have been another chance there. So that's the exciting part of this Fijian side. A lot of times teams find it hard if they lose their way a little bit on the fourth touch, have to try to create something out of nothing on the fifth touch. It's almost a little bit of a wasted play on most occasions, but when you have the attacking flair, as some of these players within the Fijian side do have, they can create something out of absolutely nothing, and that fifth touch dead play is always a danger to them. Now, Scotland, they get into the in-goal area. They just got to look to try to connect with someone. They managed to do it, but the touch has been made. 6 has been indicated. Change over, and the ball back to Fiji. So a nice little shift play there, and floating with the sideline. They just continue to go down their substitution side, but they've had a little knock on. They turn the ball back over to Scotland, so big chance scoring, begging for the Scottish on the previous play. They made their way into the in-goal area, but just couldn't find any supporting players to connect up with. It was a good turn of speed from the dummy half runner who made his way into the in-goal area. So they're just trying to get players in a position now. A lot of hand movement, trying to get sweepers to come around. It's Callum Smith with the ball. He's doing it again. So which way the sweeper's going to come from? They come from the left. Will they go away from? They do. Smith comes right, comes left, and could make his way through that Fijian defence. Now they look to go a little bit more direct here, Fiji. So this is, oh, they might have dropped the ball. No, penalty given. I was going to mention that their transition out of the end of the field, just the way that they make the meters, hasn't really been all that prevalent in terms of just going direct through the middle of the field. But that set was a little bit different from Fiji, so good to see that they can switch their variation up when required. They're taking the pace out of the game now. See what sort of attacking setup they go for in this set. They're just throwing the ball around. They drive in now. They've got some players sweeping around the back. They look to go short. The ball down, so looked like a miscommunication there between the two players. And a missed assignment. Oh, this is good work from Scotland. They're still down by 5, but the intensity in the match is still there for them. They're keeping the speed up, but errors again as we see a ball down there from the Scottish side. So let's see what sort of exit set they go forward now. They're coming down that sideline. They've done that quite a few times as well. The referee has pulled ball down on this one, so a couple of errors coming into the Fijian side, particularly coming out of their end of the field now as well. So just leaving the door ajar a little bit here for the Scottish. Again, they go the sweeper play. It's not really on. It's been intercepted in the end from Fiji. So well covered numbers-wise there on the right side of the field. So here we go. Oh no, they've turned it over again. So errors. Forward pass off the ruck. So they'll be looking to address that for sure. Fiji, when they come up against some of the bigger sides in this competition, if they continue to make errors coming out of their end of the field, they're going to get punished. It's extremely hard to defend your line repeatedly against potent attack, but Scotland, they're asking the question again, and yeah, they've gone straight. Oh, he's dropped it over the line. Oh, can you believe it? There was absolutely nobody in front. I couldn't quite see from where I'm sitting at the moment, just a little bit of a distance away from field 6, but there was absolutely no one in front of the Scottish player. And just the slippery ball spilled out over the line and they turned it over. So that's a big opportunity gone to get the second touchdown for the match. Good hands. Their last touch now. Still dancing around, they're still looking to connect, comes off the right foot, give the ball back, they're still going here, bat on play. Oh, he was shaping up to get that through the legs. Nice meters here from Scotland. Rain still tumbling here in Putrajaya. It's getting a little bit lighter though at the moment, which is good, but it's been pretty consistent for the last hour or so. Last touch now, Scotland in the in-goal area again. Yeah, there it is. I think it might open up. Referees are happy and they get their second touchdown for the match. So again, just a nice little half run from the Scottish. Good speed coming out of half. That's where they've definitely looked most dangerous. Just getting good drive coming into the line on the 5th touch. And the half managing to get it into the in-goal area. That's a couple of times that's been able to occur in this second half. The first time that they've connected. Good evasive work too from your outside man. It's quite difficult to get yourself into open space. Get yourself into a position where the half can throw you a ball as Fiji turn it over. So the coaches of the Fijian side, it might not be too impressed with the second half, but Scotland actually lead the second half, scoring 2-1. As I say that, just an easy tap and dummy play down the sideline, so at least it's 2-2 for the second half. Pushes it back out to 7-2. But just a few errors from the Fijians coming out of their end of the field. In particular, has presented some opportunities for Scotland and they've made them pay twice in the second half. I'm sure ideally going into the halftime break at 5-0 they would have been looking to keep the score at 0, but they still have quite an impressive buffer here at the moment as Scotland again trying to go from dummy half. I've been lucky to get away with that one. It did come off the hands of the Fijian player, but looked like it was just almost thrown deliberately into the hands there. But 6 ball regardless, it's cool. And we play on now with the Scottish, just taking it nice and easy, trying to get the Fijian defence to bite. A little bit of dancing, gets down low, that's really close. I think the referee's happy, yeah, they've got their third. Nice work. So they're showing some good spirit here, Scotland. As the full-time hooter goes in the background, so the Scottish, they get a touchdown right before the full-time break, but it's all too little too late. They'll take a little bit of positivity out of that second half. They actually won at 3-2 on the scoreboard in the second half, but Fiji, they did it all in the first. They were far too good, and they take the victory in the Men's Open match. And stay tuned, the next game that I'll be covering will be the Men's 35s out on field 6, and that will be England taking on Fiji again. We'll be back with that Men's 35s game in just a few minutes' time.